What's up, everybody? It's your boy TruElement78 back in the building representing Saturday Night Slamcasters here on the YouTube channel, and I am joined once again by
the one and only reigning, defending Mondo Lucha Hall of Famer and the man who attended the Royal Rumble live, the X-Man, Xavier Mustafa.
And everybody's favorite narcissist, the natural Chris Black.
And like I said, I am here on this very special edition of Saturday Night Slamcasters where we are going to be reviewing WWE's Royal Rumble 2022 that took place at the Dome over America or Center of America, whatever it's called.
The Dome at America's Center.
There we go. The Dome at America's Center that took place this past Saturday. And we're also going to discuss the fallout from this show. Like Xavier Mustafa said, he was in the building. So as someone who was in the building, and I know you came home and you watched the recording or the pay-per-view or special live event or premium live event, whatever WWE wants to call it these days, what were your thoughts compared to being there live versus what you saw when you watched the recording? Excuse me.
Well, I'll start out by saying where our particular suite was, we had a truss directly in front of us because, you know, they have that whole structure built for the lights and everything. So that was directly in front of us, so it blocked off part of the ring. We also had a light that shined in our face for a vast majority of the show. So I definitely, you know, was primarily looking at the monitors, you know, that kind of sucked. But overall, I thought it was a good show. I had fun. You know, even if the show isn't the greatest, because when I went back home and watched it, I was like, maybe it wasn't as great as I thought it was. But it's always great being there with the fans, getting their reactions in real time, reacting to their reactions. Like I'll go more into that when we talk about the Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar match. But yeah, man, I had a great time watching it on TV. You know, of course, we got to get all the commentary, so kind of see what was going on there. I totally didn't know that Becky Lynch started saying that she was on fire because of the WrestleMania sign, which would have been great if I would have heard it. But, you know, of course, you know, when you're in the arena, you know, you don't have a microphone or any speakers by you, so you can't hear what's going on. But yeah, it was great.
You decide to be a real fan and sit ringside instead of in a cushy plush suite.
Listen, if you got $2,000 to spend on some tickets for me, I'll gladly go. But I'll spend extra money
for the suite.
But hold on. When it broke down, it was under $400 for all of us. We got to sit in our own little section. We got to pretty much do what we want. We had our own food. We didn't have to go down there and, you know, mingle with, you know, I don't want to say regular folks. It sounds bad. But
so everybody, listen to this. He could have paid $5 to watch it at home on his TV, but he spent $400 to have to watch it on a monitor in a suite.
Listen. I blame the Dome at America Center for that because I specifically, when I emailed my rep, like, hey, I believe this is going to be a problem. They're like, no, it won't be a problem. There's no, you know, there's no canopy over the ring. I'm like, I think there's going to be.
This has been a running issue with WWE when it comes to the WrestleManias, the SummerSlams, now the Royal Rumble, from what you're telling us, where they have this gigantic structure. I don't know if you guys remember a couple years ago, I can't remember if it was SummerSlam or WrestleMania, the fans started chanting, turn the lights off, turn the lights off.
I remember that.
So, like, no matter how much money I pay, get that goddamn light out of my eyes. Like, nobody's trying to, I came here to see, to experience it live, and I had to watch it on television. That's part of why I told you I don't really like sitting in suites in general, because you're so far away, you still end up just watching it on a screen. But that's just my opinion.
If we were in a better vantage point, that wouldn't have been an issue because you would have still been able to see everything. But I get what you're saying. One thing I do want to say, too, is that the front row people had the same problem. And I put in a complaint to the WWE, and I actually got a call from them today. And they basically said that, you know, the situation is if we're in a building that we can't hang our stuff from the ceiling, we have to build that. And because it's HD TV, they gotta have a certain number. They have a certain numbers of lights and stuff like that. So,
and then they future endeavored them.
Well, they got to hire me first. So if they want to hire me in the future, endeavor me, I'll go ahead and sign that contract. But they actually have
we have the only Hall of Fame here, buddy.
But they said they know it's an issue, but they do the best they can, you know.
Okay. And before we hop right into doing a review of the Royal Rumble itself, I just want to ask Chris Black, as somebody who had taken a hiatus from WWE, and obviously in my absence, you probably had to watch a little bit more of it. This would have been your first pay-per-view back, though, I think, unless you watched day one or whatever.
I've always watched the pay-per-views. I just been boycotting Raw and SmackDown because I just refused to watch their television because it's the same old shit, bad booking. They're ripping up scripts. Nothing makes sense. And I mean, if they're all going to build towards the premium live event, I might as well just watch that. Before we started the podcast, that's how I used to watch WWE. I didn't watch Raw and SmackDown. I just watched the pay-per-views because those were the only thing that was important. You're basically going to be seeing the exact same matches on Raw and SmackDown, so why bother?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hop right into the Royal Rumble and start doing our review. And the Royal Rumble kicked off with Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship.
I will say the entrances was everything for this match. So Roman Reigns got a nice pop. You know, of course, once they did the intro, he was the first music that hits. Everybody was on their feet. He came out. Then we heard the Shield music, and then we get Seth Rollins coming down in his Shield / Seth freaking Rollins gimmick. It was great, and the crowd popped for that too. And it's one of those things that, like, I don't know. It's just so I'm glad they did it because it was cool. They can't do it all the time, but it was cool that they did it. And also heard a commentary that Mox was mentioned, which I thought was kind of cool too.
You know, this match caught me off guard because you hear me and everyone else. Well, a lot of other people complain about the booking and all the bad storytelling and yada 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 about WWE. You often forget that these guys are still in the ring. This match kind of blew me away because Seth Rollins had Roman Reigns' number from the start. He had him just practically at his mercy. I think that it couldn't have ended a better way. I don't like the fact that the referee dropped Seth Rollins' hand right on the ropes. I think they could have did the exact same thing in the middle of the ring. Roman gets the win, but he refuses to let. They reverse the decision, and he gets disqualified. Same thing, beats down, leaves with heat. It could have been the exact same finish. I just thought that the dropping the hand on the ropes, it wasn't a good look. But other than that, I have no complaints about this match.
My complaint was the finish. I didn't care for the finish. I would rather had Seth Rollins lose clean, especially when we don't know where this is going. So yeah, I just rather rather him and lost clean.
Yeah, you over there baking cookies?
Yeah, Mustafa has the easy bake oven going over there.
Always 24 hours, baby.
I told you guys that I really love this match. I want to add it to our match of the year candidates list for the end of the year. I love the ending. I love, like Mustafa said, the entrances were everything. Seth coming out to the Shield music, but still putting on this whole Joker persona. And in the ring, as he's getting beaten down by Roman, he's laughing at him and everything. Pretty much, Seth has the same gimmick as Baron Corbin right now. He's Happy Rollins.
I like
yeah,
when
but he does it better somehow.
I like when he was getting beat down and he was trying to do the fist pump.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, I don't think you got two better workers in the WWE than these two, man. These guys are fantastic in everything they do. Unfortunately, Seth freaking Rollins got kind of the crappy end of the deal overall, but I think they're going to try to rectify that now.
And it's kind of one of those things you guys always talk about. What probably made this match great is they are actually friends in real life. We're going to go out there and we're going to have a great match. We're going to go hard and we'll apologize for it later. So they went out there, they needed to do. I love the ending. A lot of people shit on the ending because WWE does so many wonky endings and disqualifications, but this was a disqualification that made sense because it was all about the psychological, the the psychology of Seth Rollins and how effective it was on Roman Reigns and getting him to not necessarily doubt himself, but to just remember. I told somebody, I was like, when that Shield music hit, it was like how they always show on television, people remembering Vietnam, that PTSD striking in, like just remembering how all the boos and all that stuff felt, and Roman sucks chants and you can't wrestle, like all of that just came rushing back to Roman Reigns.
And dude, props for Roman. He ate that fucking curb stomp.
Yeah,
he ate the mat.
Yeah, but like I said, I love the ending. I like the post match beatdown and everything. It was almost. You could tell that it was like such a release for Roman. It reminded me of that guy Trevor in WWE, was in the CM Punk segment when he got his head shaved, and looked like he was just having an orgasm right there in the middle of the ring when Roman was just beating this man. Pause.
Orgasms and beating. Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, love the match, love the ending. My favorite line of the entire night, commentary, any performer in the ring, was Roman Reigns at the end of this match when the ref's like, let him go, Roman, let him go, Roman. He's like, I'm trying to let him go. He won't let me go. I'm like, that was a great line. So, yeah. The only thing I didn't really like about this match, and it came back around full circle at the end of the night based on what happened with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, which we'll get into, was if Roman's mental break was the fact that he didn't have Paul Heyman anymore.
That and the Usos.
Yeah, the Usos just couldn't be a ring side. He still has the Usos as a part of his team, but he didn't have his counsel to, talk him down off the ledge and all of that, and that he did snap.
Oh.
Like this made more sense than what they're doing with Damian Priest. So where Damian Priest is supposed to be the Hulk and just snaps in every single match. This made a lot more sense because it was somebody out there playing mental games with him, not somebody seeming like a petulant child that can't control their emotions. So,
you know what? Since you brought it up, can we give a moment of silence for Damian Priest? Because that brother is trying so hard to make whatever they give him work. And I can see it, but it's not working.
I think the titles are a curse. I mean, not to get off topic, titles are kind of a curse because once you have the title, they kind of like lose focus with you and they give you crappy gimmicks. But I think he'll make it work in the end.
Yeah, I do want to talk about Damian Priest, but we'll get to that when we get to the men's Rumble match because there's a missed opportunity there with this character they're trying to build. Just overall, the men's Rumble match, like I said, we'll get into it later on. But let's move on to the second match of the night, which was the women's Royal Rumble match. And Chris Black, go ahead.
I'm going to say, first of all, it had its problems, but I actually enjoyed the women's Royal Rumble better than the men's. I can't even lie about that. Overall, good. I like the surprises. One of the reasons why it was better than men's. Did like the surprises, the callbacks, and they did certain people dirty, like Melina, gone within 53 seconds. Mighty Molly gone in 20. Again, overall, I enjoyed it. I think it was good. I'm not going to shit on this match. I mean, like I said, it had its problems here and there, but overall, they did what they could do. Now, am I happy that Ronda Rousey won? No, I'm not. And for the same reasons, while I'll get into it, I'll elaborate on it when we talk about the men's Royal Rumble. Ronda Rousey didn't need to win this match. And actually, with what they're doing with Monday Night Raw, Lita, as I predicted, should have been the one who won this match. But moving to Mustafa.
Okay, so here's my overall thought of Women's Royal Rumble. Yes, I thought it was the best Rumble on the card. Way better than the men's. The surprises was great. Ivy got a great pop. When Hardcore Country hit and Mickey James came out, the crowd lost their shit. When Ronda Rousey music hit, the crowd lost their shit. And I felt like there was so many things going on in that Rumble that furthered a lot of storylines, which they were missing in the men's Rumble. I thought when I can't think of her name right now, the Right to Censor girl. Help me out, guys. What's her name?
Ivory.
Ivory, when she came out with the microphone, I thought that was absolutely great. And then, of course, she got eliminated with the microphone. I was like, oh, okay.
It was, it was talking shit while she's getting thrown out.
One thing you guys might have missed too, because I mean, you got to see it there in the arena, but they only showed it for a split second. Melina and Sasha Banks having like a split off. Yeah. So like you see Melina go down, then it cuts to Sasha Banks who goes down, then they cut away, and they were both like this
going down.
Huh?
No, we saw it on TV. Maybe when you watched the replay, they didn't show it. Are you talking about after Sasha threw Melina out and Melina was on the floor and then Sasha started humping the ring?
Yeah, so Melina was outside doing the splits too, and they were just kind of like doing it to each other.
Yeah, they showed that. Yeah, they edited that out if they cut away from what you saw, because it was about 8 seconds long, and that was just long enough for me to finish, baby.
Imagine that. Should we call that cock blocking? The cock blocking.
But
that
was the best moment of the match.
I'm gonna say another good
Sasha
piece.
Banks up in the ring,
dressed as Sailor Moon. Dressed as Sailor Moon.
Ooh, yeah, all the nerds got off on that.
So another good piece of booking, I thought, when Molly Holly came out in her superhero gimmick. I said, let her interact with Nikki Cross. Please let her interact with Nikki Cross. And when Nikki attacked her, I cheered. I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. And then the other
attacked. She beat the shit out of Molly.
Basically. And then the last good piece of business is furthering the Naomi and Sonya Deville storyline. Even though Sonya Deville got eliminated and she hung around ringside, which felt like 10 minutes before that spot came up, and I thought that was kind of dumb. Like, why is she still there? And I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. But, yep, Rumble of the Night, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Everything in this match felt like it furthered storylines, and that's mainly because the entire men's Rumble, like, there are really no single stars right now that seem legitimate, and all the feuds in the men's division are tag team based. So they really only had like 6 to 8 people in there that had any storylines to be furthered, but they were tag team feuds, and nobody felt big time. In the women's match, at least until Ronda Rousey came out, you really didn't know which way this was headed, especially after Sasha got eliminated, and maybe then you started thinking, okay, it's got to be Bianca Belair. But really, it did feel like any woman could damn near win the Women's Royal Rumble, even the legends that came out. Now, what I do want to see, like you mentioned, Molly Holly and
Nikki ASH.
Yeah. I hope that what happened at the Rumble was not a one-off. I want to see that match. I think that could happen at like WrestleMania.
I was about to say that after watching this entire Rumble, I was thinking to myself at the time when I watched it, if the WWE actually gave a shit about their women's division, do you know how many feuds, storylines, programs could be written just from the women in this Rumble?
Like, this could have set up the next all women's pay-per-view, basically.
Dude, for real. But, you know, they are the shits and they don't know how to book their women's division. So
yeah, so a couple missed opportunities in there. Since you had Cameron in there, you missed the opportunity to have her, Alicia Fox, and Melina all in the match at the same time. I know there's been a rumor saying that maybe like actually slipped. She wasn't supposed to be eliminated that quickly, which is always a possibility. But that would have been an awesome opportunity. I did like what they did with Sonya Deville being on commentary when she was supposed to be in the ring, but she wanted to wait on Naomi to come out, and the commentary is like, "Oh yeah, here comes Cameron, Naomi's former tag team partner and friend," and Sonya's like, she's friends with Naomi. Just takes off her jacket and runs in the ring. Now, one thing I did think that was silly, and this has got to happen, I wish that it had happened here, was that I thought Naomi was going to come out, and since Sonya left the jacket on the ground, I was like, set the jacket on fire, rip it up, do something to it.
Or just take it.
Yeah, just do something to it. Or maybe even Cameron like has been smartened up and she goes and takes it and sets it on fire or something. And then you have a storyline there where for some reason the Rumble's on a Saturday and she couldn't get a new jacket by Monday or Thursday or whatever show Naomi's on now. Yeah, she's got to be on Mondays.
Listen. The fire was already booked twice that night. They didn't want to overdo it. They didn't want to overbook.
Didn't want to overbook it. They didn't want it to be the new roll up. But yeah, this is the second best match of the night, second best thing on the show. Like I said, my number one was Roman versus Seth, but was really cool, really fun. And Monday night, they even brought one of the legends back to set up a feud with Becky Lynch. So, but we'll get into that when we start talking about the fallout from the Royal Rumble. And your winner was Ronda Rousey, like we said. One thing I did like about that was that this was the first time that since Ronda Rousey was in the ring, that Shayna Baszler felt like a big deal. To me, she felt like a big deal when her and Ronda were in there just putting that work in on them chicks.
I just want to say,
look. Go ahead, Mustafa.
I just want to say, Ronda Rousey should not throw a wrestling punch because those were absolutely terrible. I love you, Ronda. If you listen to this, I love you. We need to work on that though, and we need to work on your promos.
But she obviously wasn't doing any work on her time off.
Well, no, it looked like she'd been doing some work with Shane McMahon. That's what it looked like. She'd been learning how to throw punches.
What I'm gonna say about Ronda Rousey is when she came out, she straight up had her game face on. I'm like, business about to pick up, and then she got in the ring. And I've never been a fan of Ronda Rousey's work. I just haven't. She hasn't made that transition from shoot fighting to worked wrestling. She just hasn't. She's always been kind of terrible to me in the ring.
Boy, just wait till you see the reviews of your matches that she's given.
Please. Please. You know what? I'm confident to say I know how to work a match better than she does, but I ought to because I've been in the business longer.
I can see that Ronda Rousey meme right now. That Chris Black, he's the shits.
Please. Oh my God. Don't do that.
And he wears a skirt.
I'll have to fight her for real.
Tru Element is making that meme right now because he's angry.
You bet not.
It's actually a picture of her. I'm going to Photoshop Chris Black in there instead of her pointing at the Royal Rumble sign. It's going to be like, y'all want to see a dead body, and it's going to be Chris Black being pinned by somebody.
What was the name of that girl who knocked her the fuck out? Don't let me get her.
Ollie Holmes.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Don't make me get Ollie Holmes on you.
So Ronda Rousey's intensity was so much that when she pointed to the WrestleMania sign, it burst into flames. What was going on in the arena at this moment, Mustafa? Or were you still watching on your monitor?
Okay, so whatever. Anyway, so we were on the stage side. So if you were looking directly at the stage, we were to the right in the corner. So all we could see really was the top and the bottom of the WrestleMania sign because the lights and all that stuff was in the way. So we didn't know what was going on. Like we smelt something burning, but we didn't know what was going on. Then all of a sudden we see the WrestleMania sign drop down. I was like, oh, that's cool. They can make it drop all the way down. So that, but I didn't realize they did that because it was literally dripping from being on fire. And then we noticed that there were people like clearing out from that section. And it was like, okay, what the hell is going on? So it wasn't until I think you had messaged me and was like, the WrestleMania sign is on fire. And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
So what has your doctor normally told you to do when you're dripping fire and to make that better?
Gotta get that shot, right?
I don't have those problems. I don't know.
All right. So I had to evacuate that entire section. How long was it before they brought the people back that you noticed that the people started being let back in?
I honestly, I stopped paying attention at that point. From what I hear, they were let back in by the men's rumble. But at that time they had them leave again because they knew they were going to set the power off on it again, and they didn't want them to get hurt.
The men's rumble, that's the whole damn show.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure a lot of people got free tickets or refunds, I'm sure.
Damn.
If they got refunds, they did them better than AEW did me when I went to the show, and they had eliminated the seats that I paid for.
I'm telling you, I would have threw an absolute fit.
And they would have gave you that same phone call they gave you when you threw an absolute fit about the light being in your eyes. They're like, you got to see the show, right? Did they give you the monitor?
Oh, they taking care of me though, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They're taking care of me. I'm good.
You got to watch the monitor, right?
Just wait till WrestleMania when they give them. They're like, "Hey, you can watch it on your smartwatch if the light is in your eyes."
Oh shit!
Are you checking on that for the arenas you go to from now on? Or are you gonna like make that a? Because it sounds like you had like a concierge or something that you were working with. Is that gonna be? Are you gonna put that on your rider now when you reserve a suite?
Basically, I'm gonna find out where that mug's at first, and then go from there. And I should have known when I saw where the ring was gonna be set up. I was like, wait a minute.
You're gonna be like, if the light is in my eyes, I get to be on main event.
Can I make a request for the show? Can we skip this next match?
Oh no, we got to talk about the next match. The next match was not a bad match. It was just that people were distracted by what was going on with the WrestleMania sign, and nobody believed that Doudrop was actually going to win it. But I don't think it was a bad match. But you guys can tell what you thought. I pretty much just gave my review. It was Becky Lynch facing Doudrop for the Raw Women's Championship, and Becky Lynch ended up winning and retaining. So, thoughts?
Oh, mine's gonna be real simple. Seeing as how I felt like there was no stakes involved because we all knew that Becky Lynch was gonna win, I had no interest in this match. I'm sorry, Doudrop is a good worker, or at least she was in NXT UK, but sorry, I couldn't get into this match. I actually have paid attention to it.
I thought the match was very meh. To me, until Piper Niven becomes back Piper Niven, I don't care. That Doudrop gimmick is terrible. The match was very blah. Yeah, I understand people was distracted because the building was on fire, but still, even if it wasn't, that match wasn't fire.
All right, so next up we had the WWE champion Brock Lesnar taking on Bobby Lashley. I was very excited for this match, and I think it did not deliver on the excitement, but I was happy with the outcome of Bobby Lashley becoming the two-time WWE champion. Mustafa, what were your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to start this one. So, for the most part, everybody in our suite was people of color. And not saying we just cheered for Bobby Lashley because he's a person of color, because we love Brock. Don't get us wrong, but we really felt like Bobby Lashley kind of got cheated when he lost the title. So, but the people around us, there wasn't a lot of people of color around us, so they kind of was looking at us crazy when we lost our shit when Bobby Lashley won. So that was kind of awkward. But I thought the match overall, I thought it was decent. It wasn't, again, what I thought it was going to be. But I thought the finish was great.
Damn, if only one of us would have said that this match probably wasn't going to live up to hype. Now, you would think that one of us would have said something like that, right? No, I'm just playing. It didn't live up to this hype, but it was still entertaining. It was fun watching them give each other German suplexes and damn near breaking Brock's neck because he dropped him on his head or his upper shoulders.
Which was Brock's fault, and he still gave receipts.
I was watching because I'm like, Bobby, don't accidentally pop this man a little too hard because he's gonna get pissed and start shooting. And if this match turns into a shoot fight, I don't know, it might be that much more interesting. But I thought it was what it was. I knew that they had to get the belt off of Brock because, again, he wasn't really supposed to win it to begin with, and it's just a a piece to kind of move the storyline along to get to Roman Reigns. So, yeah, I'm happy Bobby Lashley won the title. Brock Lesnar lost, but he lost dirty, so he doesn't like quote unquote lose anything, or he still looks strong. So, no complaints. I enjoyed it. It didn't live quite up to the hype, but it did last longer than I thought. I said that match would probably go 5 to 8 minutes. Official time was 10 minutes and 15 seconds. So, yeah, not bad.
For those who didn't see it, the match ended up ending when the referee was knocked out when Brock Lesnar went for an F5 and threw Bobby Lashley into the referee. Referee went down. Roman Reigns came out. I believe he hit Brock with a spear. Then he requested that Paul Heyman hand him the WWE Championship, which Paul Heyman hesitated, but then he gave it to Roman. Roman lays out Brock Lesnar with the title belt. Bobby Lashley climbs over to Brock Lesnar's limp body and pins him 1, 2, 3. And everybody lost their minds.
I just want to bring up that he dropped that title with disgust. Like, ew, the WWE Championship? Ew, I touched it. It's got cooties. I thought that was highly disrespectful, but I get it. I get it. When you're the champion of the universe, I get it.
This title is beneath me.
You know, for once, I think we can kind of like give some praise to the commentators, because like when Bobby Lashley speared Brock the first time and he did not go for the cover, I like the fact that the commentators are just like, yeah, he knows that one is going to put him down, and he sets him up and he gets him another spear. This match was pretty good. The commentating was good. I think this was probably a very good produced match overall.
I feel like Brock has in his contract he can only face people that do the spear. Like I only fight Goldberg, Edge, Roman, and Bobby Lashley. I would have fought Christian, but his neck won't last with me or whatever.
Then someone needs to tell Riddle that he needs to start using the spear.
Riddle's going to get his in the Elimination Chamber. It's funny because Brock said that he would never get the match with Brock, but they had the one little interaction in the Rumble, and now they're going to be inside the Elimination Chamber, so it's going to be interesting to see.
I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. Riddle will be eliminated before Brock gets in.
I'm predicting Brock comes in third. Riddle's probably going to kick off the match. They're going to be in there, but I don't know how much interaction they're going to be.
Nah, I think Brock's going to be one of the last ones.
I don't think you can have Brock come in. I don't think Brock should come in last. Well, actually, what I mean by third is third from last because it's 4 pods. Second to last.
Because if he's in there early, he's just going to, in theory, he's just eliminate everybody and win as they come out.
I'm with you with the third. He's not going to be the last, but he's definitely not going to be the first to come out the pods.
Yeah.
So who comes out? Who's the last couple people to come out?
I think Riddle and Theory starts the match.
I was going to say I think Theory comes out last because I think Theory's going to see all the destruction that's been going on. I think we're going to start off with Riddle and Rey.
Okay.
Yeah. Or AJ, I mean, Riddle and AJ. Because Rey lost AJ.
Now, not to sidetrack us. So this is going to be in Saudi Arabia on a Saturday. What time is it starting? Is this still an early afternoon show?
Like yes. 2 or some shit, 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Or no. Don't they start at like 11 or 12?
Yeah, it's like 11, 12. 12. I think 12 is usually the kickoff, and it's the show starts at 1.
Motherfucker. I'm going to be in a hockey tournament.
The furthest thing from hot Saudi Arabia. Right. So moving on, the next match was I actually fell asleep on this match. Like I saw, like, you know how you're like falling asleep, but you'll open your eyes and catch glimpses of things going on.
That happened during the men's Royal Rumble for me. I'll get to that.
So I started, like, literally, I heard the music, my eyes closed, eyes open. I saw cleavage, eyes closed, open back up. I see Edge doing some stuff, eyes closed. I see a brick, eyes closed. I see stereo Glamazon slams. And then I woke back up and started watching the rest of the show. But it was the Miz and Maryse taking on Edge and Beth Phoenix. thoughts on this match? I'm actually gonna start with Mustafa because I just want to know how many people went to the bathroom during this match.
A lot of people. They didn't have chemistry, which is really weird because I thought Miz and Edge had a lot of chemistry, but when you got all four of them together, it was not there. It was a struggle. I don't know if it was maybe match placement, if it was just chemistry, but I think it was chemistry.
Yeah, there was. I'm going to say, first of all, the match was not bad. It was a pretty decent match for what it was, but it was nowhere near as good as I thought it was going to be. I had this picked as possibly the match of the night when we did our predictions. Man, was I off. This was decent, and it was kind of gimmicky, but I guess it's kind of a gimmick match, mixed tag. I don't know. It didn't live up to expectations. It wasn't horrible. They didn't shit the bed, but it just, like you said, I was trying to figure out what is it that's making this match so bad. Chemistry, or should I say lack thereof. I think you hit it right on the head with that.
And we got a Luna Vachon tribute. That was kind of cool.
Oh, Twitter's so goddamn bogus. They did her so dirty.
Oh, yeah, the memes were hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I love Twitter. Anything fucking goes on Twitter.
And then finally, we had the men's Royal Rumble match, which started out with AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm sure Chris Black was over there like, Wrestle Kingdom.
Dude, look. Jumping ahead, when Robert Roode, which was he came out as number 4, when he came out and they're all TNA, I'm like, where's the New Japan chant from when Shinsuke and AJ was in the ring? They did my boy Shinsuke dirty as fuck. 5 minutes, 51 seconds, he gets thrown out. Isn't he the Intercontinental champ? Like, what the fuck is that?
Hey,
mid-card titles are a curse. I wouldn't even accept that shit if I was on the roster. Nope. I want to be remembered. Don't give me the title.
They don't watch New Japan, bro. They don't know what that is.
No habla español, bro. They don't know what that is.
And it shows, which is why they're there supporting WWE.
But yeah, like I said, yeah, or like you just said, that ended up happening. The TNA chant broke out at the Royal Rumble. It's actually funny. Nobody ever chants WWE. like you got AEW chants, you get TNA chants.
That just seems like it'd be awkward to chant WWE. That don't even sound right. WWE. I don't know.
So pretty much. So what you're saying is terrible branding by WWE because it can't be chanted.
Pretty much.
So I was excited to see Bad Bunny return. Anybody else?
I popped. That was my biggest pop of the entire night. Was Bad Bunny coming back. I'm actually gonna go to the Bad Bunny concert. Like I've listened to Bad Bunny. I don't know what he's talking about. He know how to ride a beat though. But I respect Bad Bunny and what he has done with the WWE. He's not somebody who's just coming there. Obviously, there's people online. I saw somebody post, they were like, oh man, Bad Bunny is great. He didn't have to do what he did last night. And somebody was like, he got paid to do what he did last night. So fuck you mean? But I'm like, even if he's being paid, he doesn't have to do the stuff that he's been doing for WWE or with WWE. They've asked celebrities to do way less who just come in there and collect the check. But you can tell he's actually putting in the work to go in there and do things. Now, are they allowing him to do a little bit too much as somebody who's a rapper and not a wrestler? Yes. He should not be hitting Canadian destroyers on a former UFC fighter and current WWE fighter and somebody like Matt Riddle, but shout out to that brother.
I don't know. See, I disagree. The one thing I think they don't give Bad Bunny credit for is Bad Bunny is actually trained. He's not like Johnny Knoxville to just get in the ring, getting his ass kicked with no training. That's why they always kick the shit out of him every time he's in the ring.
Yeah, but again, like a Canadian destroyer shouldn't be something that I can look at, even if he's being trained, that I can just bust that out after. Like, obviously he's had more than 6 months of training now, probably, but I don't think that that's the move that should just be having somebody just bust out.
Yeah, I get you saying. Street. Like that shouldn't be that he's allowed to do because it's supposed to be a little more complicated than that.
That's like if they let him come in and he just starts hitting shooting star presses and freaking Spanish flies out of nowhere.
I mean, but he's a little guy.
He was gonna. Go ahead.
I would say, but he can't be doing power slams and stalling suplexes or anything like that. He's a little guy.
I don't think he's not a little guy. He was tall. He was big.
He's tall and lengthy.
Taller than Brock. He's a big guy. He's skinny, but there's no reason he can't go in there and hit a suplex on Matt Riddle. That would have made more sense than him hitting the Canadian Destroyer on Matt Riddle, in my opinion. As somebody,
I mean, if you want to do something that, that's kind of Kevin Owens and Wilson. I mean, he could have been handing out stunners or some shit, but
yeah,
simple.
There's a lot of things he could do, but like I said, respect to him because he's actually respecting the craft, and like you said, he's training, he's putting in the work, and so like I don't have a problem with Bad Bunny. It makes me want to support him and whatever he has going on because he's actually respecting the business, in my opinion. So
I'm not gonna lie. When Brock Lesnar hit at number 30, I looked at the people in my suite. I said, "Oh my God, get Bad Bunny and Riddle out of there! Get Bad Bunny and Riddle out of there!"
Over the top rope right now.
Because I was like, they finna get whipped, but he didn't do him too bad. I mean, he threw Riddle out like he wasn't shit, but
yeah, he caught Riddle and just tossed him. That's why I said it's going to be curious. I'm curious to see what's going to happen inside the Elimination Chamber. Are they going to have to give Brock bonus money to go in there and actually wrestle with Matt Riddle? Is it just going to be Matt Riddle can't get any offense? Will Matt Riddle shoot on Brock Lesnar? So many questions.
Matt Riddle ain't stupid. I'm going to tell you
Are you sure?
I'm going to tell you my biggest problem with the Royal Rumble. My biggest problem was Brock coming out at 30. If you're in a heavyweight title match, you're not in the Rumble. They could have explained it where maybe Brock Lesnar brought somebody's Rumble, he beat somebody up and took their Rumble number. They did no explanation at all, which just to me just made everything, as Jim Cornette says, flatter than a plate full of piss.
And to give him the number 30 spot, like, okay, I get it. So he stole someone's spot, beat somebody up, paid somebody off. But number 30? Really?
Yeah, I would have had Matt Riddle. I mean, not Matt Riddle. I would have had McIntyre come out at number 30 and put Brock somewhere else, maybe 25. If you're going to put him in there. And it really wouldn't have made that big of a difference, but at least McIntyre comes out as somebody that could be legitimate because he's eliminated Brock before from the Rumble and he's beaten Brock at WrestleMania.
Yeah, they did McIntyre dirty. They was like, "Oh, you get 3 seconds for Brock. Oh, you eliminated." I was like, "Damn."
Well, that's because they were rushing. They ran out of time at the end of the show. They had to rush through the end of the match because the last 6 in the match were Bad Bunny, Shane McMahon, Matt Riddle, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, and I think I said McIntyre. Orton, Riddle, McMahon, Bad Bunny, and McIntyre. And Lesnar eliminated Orton. He eliminated Bad Bunny. Riddle got eliminated by Brock, and then Shane McMahon, and then it was down to McIntyre and Lesnar tossed McIntyre out. Now you want to talk about somebody who was eliminated like a sack of shit? Big E, but that all could have came down to the botch of the night.
I'm finna be honest with you. I don't remember Big E being in the Royal Rumble.
He was still like shit. Oh, actually, you know what? I wanted to give out my award for probably the least work ever put in, but the longest time ever in the Royal Rumble to Aaliyah from the women's match. She did nothing of note in the women's Rumble, and I think she was in there for like 20 minutes.
She did nothing. Like I noticed when she came in, I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna last long.
She was the
20 minutes later. It's like, why is she still in the ring?
Yeah, she was the starfish of the women's Rumble. She just laid there.
Ready to, agree with me and get rid of Omos?
Hold on, I left something open for Mustafa to comment on. I said that Big E was throwing out like a sack of shit, but that all could have came down to the botch of the night. What was the reaction in the arena to the botch of the night?
Oh, people was mad. Oh, they was mad because they knew something spectacular was supposed to happen. And when I saw it, I said, okay, maybe they can play it off. But then you saw that the referee saw his feet touch. And then you could tell, like, Kofi was like, can I still go? And the referee was like, nah, bro. Nah. We got that on 17 different cameras, bro. You out of that.
They had it on every angle. Like, they couldn't even hide the shit on the stream.
And I'm like, what? I'm just like, what was they going to do? Now I'm curious. Maybe we'll see it in the 2023.
He probably was going to get on Big E's shoulders or some shit and get in the ring. I don't know. Because he came out shortly after he got eliminated.
Yeah, the New Day got no love on the show. You know, like, apparently Shane McMahon, who helped book this Rumble, he wanted all the love, and then that's why he got let go.
Now, I will say when Shane McMahon's music hit, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what? Shane and them bullshit ass punches.
I'm like, sit your old ass down, Shane. Come on.
Yeah, the surprises in the men's Rumble were McIntyre, McMahon, and Bad Bunny. So,
yeah, pretty much.
Almost, yeah. Like, it's funny. Almost gets cheered for the most part on Monday Night Raw, but here in this match, nobody gave a damn that Almost was out there and doing his big man spots. Like, nobody cared. And for him to be as big as he is, he didn't even put on a performance like a Kane or Undertaker, where it's like, or even a Braun Strowman.
Because he can't work, he can't act threatening, he can't look threatening. He's all that's what he looks like.
I love his facial expressions though.
That's Jesus Christ. He looks like a special needs kid. Ooh, let me stop.
Okay, so let me tell you what happened when Almost was in the ring in the suite, right? So Almost was like trying to get dumped by everybody, right? And I was like, they just need one more person. And then Dominic Mysterio music hit. I said, that's it. Baby, they need that extra 30 pounds. Let's go. And soon he get in there, and then they did the deal with AJ Styles. I said, see, told y'all they just needed that 30 pounds.
Oh, soft body.
And then,
you know what? Okay. We're going to talk about missed opportunities. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I watched part of the Go Home show of Raw. Did they or did they not tease the fact that Dominic was going to throw his daddy out of the Royal Rumble?
Yes, they did. And Ray got eliminated before Dominic even came out.
What the fuck? Like, who's booking this shit? Shane McMahon.
Another missed opportunity in the match was Damian Priest having his whole Hulk persona. If anybody was going to run wild in there, it should have been Damian Priest. He should have got ganged up on and just snapped.
He got no eliminations.
Oh, and it was also funny when Dolph Ziggler came out. They're like, Dolph has a record-breaking 15th appearance and 12 eliminations. I'm like, that's a terrible statistic. You've been in 15 Royal Rumbles, 0 wins, and you only got 12 eliminations. That's like Chris Black's record against.
See, can't even finish the joke.
I can't finish the joke. It's just funny as hell.
That's okay though, because he got in the ring and he got treated like he'd been in 15 Royal Rumbles with 12 eliminations.
So yeah, this goes down as one of the worst men's Royal Rumbles that I've ever seen. It was nothing of note happening. It will not be remembered. The biggest pop and the only people that felt like a star in this match to me, and it's sad to say, were Bad Bunny, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre. Those were like, until Brock came out, those were like, I was like, Bad Bunny could actually win this. Because there's no star power out here in this ring.
Yeah, and actually, you know what?
If Bad Bunny didn't have a tour date on the day of WrestleMania, he probably would have gotten booked to win it.
Until Brock Lesnar came out at 30, and there was always a possibility he was going to come out on 30. I'm looking in the ring and I'm just like, who the fuck's going to win this thing? I mean, obviously it could have been Drew McIntyre. It could have.
Well, from what I read, the original plan was supposed to be Riddle.
I'm not buying that. I'm just not. There's no momentum behind that. Well, was he gonna challenge Bobby Lashley or the Rock or Roman Reigns?
See, I don't know, because I know day one kind of screwed everything up. So let's say day one would have happened and Big E would have kept his title. Roman would have kept his title. So it'd either be him or Roman.
Here's how I think it would have went down. It would have been that Brock didn't have to win anything, obviously, because it's Brock. He didn't even need to win the Royal Rumble. McIntyre would have been going after Bobby Lashley, and they would have probably been playing up the MMA background. But how Bobby Lashley has always played the straight and narrow, where, Riddle likes to dabble in some other substances or whatever, and it would have been...
Likes to dab? What?
And it would have been more of like Randy trying to get through to Riddle how big of an opportunity it is or whatever. And eventually, I think they would have actually had Matt Riddle beat Bobby Lashley. And then Randy turns on Matt Riddle. And then we get that storyline. I think that's the way that it would have ended up going down. And it would have been Randy and Randy and Riddle at SummerSlam.
At what point did Big E, in your example, lose to Bobby Lashley?
You said that. Yeah, because that was based all around day.
Yeah. If Big E would have retained, unless he would have lost to Lashley, but Big E was supposed to retain, I thought, but that's neither here nor there.
He would have still probably on his pay-per-view. He would have probably lost. He would have probably lost to Bobby Lashley again on the at the Royal Rumble.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. That would have been the rematch. So, yeah, I think that would have been the direction they wanted to go in. The whole thing about Shane McMahon even trying to book himself to face Rollins, I could see that. He did eliminate Kevin Owens in here, so you could even end up with Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. But if I recall, wasn't that the storyline? And Shane had to leave the company? Yeah. So they already did that storyline. So I don't know. And now they're saying Shane McMahon is gone. It could be a ploy. Who knows? People got rumors going all around saying that Shane's gonna be in the Impact Zone later.
They were like, cue the AEW Shane is all elite memes.
That would be fire, bro.
I saw one that said Shane McMahon is all elite. And then it had him on the Talk Is Jericho podcast, him versus Cody Rhodes, and then him versus Tony Nese.
Actually,
that's the AEW starter pack, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but you want to know what's funny? Is Talk Is Jericho's not even part of the starter pack anymore. They go on the Renee Paquette podcast.
Jericho's been bumped down.
Pretty much.
People like those oral sessions.
Oh, that sounds so bad. I'm doing oral sessions with Renee Paquette.
She know why she named it that way. She knows.
Moxley, we do have a hardcore wrestling up here called ICW. We can get Chris Black down there for you.
Hey, I'll wrestle Moxley. You better not try none of that shit.
At ICW?
I'm not Juice Robinson. You ain't biting my motherfucking eyebrow.
At ICW? Will you fight John Moxley at ICW?
It's going to have to be a straight up and down wrestling match. That's the gimmick.
Does ICW do straight up and down wrestling, Mustafa?
Yes. It's not all hardcore.
That'd be the storyline. Like, John Moxley, you can't beat me in a regular wrestling match. Book it.
Blizzard Brawl next year. Chris Black versus John Moxley.
I would never get booked for Blizzard Brawl.
I will work on getting you booked for Blizzard Brawl if we can bring in John Moxley.
And he don't do hardcore matches anyway.
We're just gonna do a Lego match.
I'll do that.
Or no, we're gonna do a table. We're gonna do a table match, and we're gonna be like, "Hey, just set it on fire and put it."
Oh, see, the moment they set fire to a table, I'm gonna get up like, "Nope, that doesn't work for me, brother." Unless you're putting yourself through that, like Cody Rhodes.
Come on,
I'm good.
Come out there having the bologna back, fried bologna sandwich back, having ass.
Ew, I can just smell that. Ugh.
Oh my god! But I forgot which one of you brought it up, but that was my point earlier. Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey both did not need Royal Rumble wins to challenge for a title at WrestleMania. They don't.
I'm happier with Ronda Rousey winning the Royal Rumble than Brock winning the Royal Rumble. I don't really have a problem with either one, but I think Ronda needed to come back and make a statement and an impact. But also that statement could have been a little bit more dominant, like how Brock eliminated the last like 6 people in that match. Ronda should have done that. But all she did was just keep working on women in the corner. Like she eliminated the Bellas
with them badass punches.
Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, the fallout was that apparently Shane McMahon has been released by WWE is what the rumor is as of the recording of this. There's conflicting reports saying that he was the person who put together the men's Royal Rumble and he wanted to book himself, not necessarily to book himself to win. That was one rumor that came out.
The shine.
Yeah, but it was mainly to build the end around him, to build a story between him and Seth Rollins headed into WrestleMania for him and Rollins to have a match, which that, was changed because Seth obviously faced Roman Reigns and then they did the whole post-match beatdown or whatever. So he wasn't going to be in the Rumble anyways, based on the changes from day one. So we really don't know, but all we know is that they say it was a lot of heat on Shane McMahon, which is also kind of funny to hear because it's the boss's son. And a report comes out saying that there's a whole bunch of heat on him, when all the stories I've ever really heard about Shane was that Shane is pretty much like backstage. So this whole report just seems like out of place. Like, where would Shane McMahon have this whole change in mentality that will have an entire locker room turn on him?
It could honestly be a kind of like a work shoot, like they're working the marks. It could be potentially. For all we know, it's just like, hey Shane, we've got nothing for you at WrestleMania right now. Let's just spin the story that you got let go and get some buzz.
Yeah, because that would be the biggest story over the past 3 years of all the releases they've ever done. You release your son from the company. He was like, anybody can get it in this company.
Somebody brought it up. He's like, Vince already don't even wish him happy birthday.
Well, the funny thing about that is somebody just posted a meme where it was like every company doing Black History Month, and it was Vince McMahon going through his do-rag wearing stage and ECW, WWE's version of ECW. And I'm like, shoot, somebody needs to Photoshop Vince McMahon being Nino Brown because he's just off anybody.
I do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I miss do-rag Vince.
Am I like, no, I need that. If you're listening to this and you got Photoshop skills, I need y'all to Photoshop Vince McMahon as Nino Brown saying, "Am I my brother's keeper?" and off that bitch.
No, that'll do. Goddamn, what's that name of that superhero cartoon? Invincible or some shit? Oh, Invincible. Photoshop some Vince and Shane McMahon.
All right, guys. Is there anything else we need to say about the Royal Rumble so we can get out of here?
We're all done with the Royal Rumble. The fallout from Raw, though. Like I said, they kicked off with Bobby Lashley coming out down to the ring and pretty much gloating and celebrating how he beat Brock Lesnar, which that is how the record books are always going to read, that Bobby Lashley is one of the few men who in WWE who has beaten Brock Lesnar. So that's great. But we also know that if it's going to be one of those Hogan things, it's not going to stand forever. Brock is coming back for his eventually.
Right. You got to get his win.
Right. And then Brock came out uncharacteristically in his gear, challenging Bobby Lashley to a fight. And I was like, wow, Brock's got on his actual gear. Are we actually going to get a Brock Lesnar match on Raw? We did not end up getting that. He said a bunch of naughty words that the censors had to censor out, calling Bobby Lashley a chicken shit. And a whole bunch of other things. I have no idea what he was saying. I just know that I had a very long mute. It sounded like we were talking to Xavier Mustafa over Skype.
He kept calling him a chicken shit over and over again. That's what that long ass beat was, or pause.
Okay. And then that also led to actually earlier in the day they had announced that Bobby Lashley would be defending his WWE championship inside the Elimination Chamber, which pissed me off because the Elimination Chamber over the past several years has been used to decide who would face the other champion that was not chosen by the Royal Rumble winner. But now Bobby Lashley has to go and defend his belt inside the chamber. Unless they're going to do the title unification match, there's no point to this, in my opinion. But we'll see how that goes. But pretty much the entire Monday Night Raw was centered around finding people who were going to be going into the Elimination Chamber to face Bobby Lashley. So Brock came out, like I said at the beginning of the show. Since Bobby backed down from the challenge, Adam Pearce added Brock Lesnar to the Elimination Chamber. So Brock Lesnar will be inside the chamber. Then we had a KO show segment where Seth Rollins came down as the guest on the KO show. And we found out that Seth Rollins had been added to the Elimination Chamber.
Anyone else thinks Seth Rollins looked like Cody Rhodes in that get-up, except for the glasses?
I just thought that he was getting ready to go host the greatest show on earth. But, you know. Actually, he looked like Nick Aldis.
Stop. We will not be disrespecting that man on this show.
And so then Kevin Owens actually had the match of the night, and it was a star-making performance by Austin Theory. You had Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory for a position in the Elimination Chamber with Austin Theory going over. Did you guys did watch Raw, right?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on this match?
Before anyone gets all pissed off that Kevin Owens lost, remember this man does not go to Saudi Arabia. That is why and it was a perfect opportunity to put someone over. So there you go. I like the match. I'm not mad at it at all. Good luck, Austin Theory. I think you're getting your ass handed to you in the Elimination Chamber.
Really, we're picking on Austin Theory. That's the new John Cena. Get with the program.
No.
Did you have any thoughts on the match?
No.
Mustafa?
Nope.
No?
It was all right.
All right. Another running storyline of the night was the scooter race between the Alpha Academy and RK Bro. When they announced this, it sounded like it was going to be all four members of the teams racing their scooters, but it actually ended up only being Riddle and stupid sexy Shorty G or whatever, Chad Gable, wearing his Ned Flanders feels like he's wearing nothing at all outfit. And they had to do 50 laps around the arena with the finish line being ringside. Riddle was in the lead after Chad Gable fell off his scooter when it came down the ramp. And we thought Riddle was going to pass the finish line, but Otis came from out of nowhere and clobbered him. And then Chad Gable easily rolled on to victory across the finish line. No Randy Orton on the show, but we did end up having an impromptu match between Riddle and Otis that, before the match started, became for another spot inside the Elimination Chamber with Riddle defeating Otis. Then we had AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio as our main event, which was another great match for the final position inside the Elimination Chamber, ending with AJ Styles going over Rey Mysterio. So that's what you're going to have at the Elimination Chamber. At the end of the show, we had Becky Lynch come out and basically, we had Ronda Rousey, my bad. We had Ronda Rousey come out, cut an incoherent promo where she said that she could face Charlotte or she could face Rebecca at WrestleMania, and she hasn't really decided yet because she's like, I could pick Becky, but if I don't pick Becky, then I'm in the main event where I belong, and she'll continue to be number 2 to me. Where she's like, or I could face Rebecca and give her the energy and attention that she wants, and she doesn't want my attention or whatever. I don't know. Becky Lynch came down, which also was weird because it did seem like Becky was begging for relevance from Ronda Rousey by asking her to pick her. And at this point, based on the title defenses that Becky Lynch has had, she needs Ronda Rousey way more than Ronda Rousey does need her. I don't know where you guys fall on that, but that's how.
I'm absolutely going to disagree with that. I think that I was actually more excited for the possibility of Lita and Becky Lynch instead of Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. Let Ronda have Charlotte. Let Lita have Becky Lynch for WrestleMania.
Well, thank you for jumping the shark, but
Oh, did I? My bad.
yeah. But what were your thoughts on the whole before we even talk about what happened after Ronda Rousey left the ring? Mustafa.
I don't care. Either match is gonna be okay. I don't care what she picks. Just get it over with. There's no reason to wait till Friday and all that other crap. Just say who you're gonna fight. We would probably, as the fans, would probably rather see wrestle Becky Lynch, but again, they're gonna make her fight Charlotte, and nobody's gonna give two shits about it. But whatever.
All right, and so basically, Becky was begging for the match with Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey said that she would give her answer on Friday, and then she drops Becky Lynch with a judo throw, and teases locking in the armbar, but she doesn't. She lets her live, and she storms to the back, and Becky Lynch remains in the ring. All of a sudden, Lita's music hit. Lita comes down to the ring wearing a Becky Lynch shirt, and basically saying how much she loves Becky Lynch and stuff like that, and that they should have a match. And so Becky Lynch and Lita are going to be having a women's title match in Saudi Arabia. So since they're not doing a women's elimination chamber match in Saudi Arabia, so can't have that many women over there. Lita's about to get the biggest payday of her entire life, though, going over there as a legend and going over to Saudi Arabia. So it's going to be interesting, and hopefully they don't let Lita hit any moonsaults, because if y'all noticed, she teased it in the Royal Rumble, but they're like, no, you are not about to break your neck on our watch again.
Well, she broke her neck doing a stunt for a fucking
Dark
TV
Angel.
show.
Yeah, but her moonsaults lately, she hasn't been getting any height. She's so low that she almost breaks her neck.
She always had kind of a low moonsault, though. But anyway.
Yeah. So that is pretty much all the fallout, and now the Elimination Chamber is set up. Are you guys looking forward to WrestleMania? I know Mustafa's supposed to be going to the event. I don't know if Chris Black is going to be going to the event. I want to go to the event just for one reason and one reason only, and that is for the Undertaker's Hall of Fame induction, which also at the Royal Rumble, the commentators kept calling Michelle McCool a WWE Hall of Famer, which she is not, but she is married to the Undertaker. And
they let the cat out of the bag. They let the cat out of the bag. I think she's going to be inducted. Yeah, possibly.
So we might have the first couple inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Together, I should say, because Miss Elizabeth is in there and so is Macho Man. So
whether or not they stayed a couple after being inducted is quite another thing.
Right. So, yeah, my question remains, looking forward to WrestleMania. Are you on the road to WrestleMania? Or are you already ready to get out the car?
I'll give it a chance. I think I'll kind of lift my boycott somewhat and watch Raw or SmackDown. If I'm able to watch it, I guess I'll check it out. Like I said, I was kind of pleasantly surprised at Raw. Side note, I absolutely love this version of Chad Gable, and I'm actually like heel Otis. Like, I like it. I kind of rolled my eyes at the whole 50 laps bullshit, but the way they set up the match, I can't complain. So hopefully they step their game up for the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania always is supposed to be, a big event. It's supposed to be something good. So I'll give it a chance. I won't shit too bad on it unless they give me a reason to.
I already got my Uber app up, so if I got to get out the car and call one to get back home, I'm good. So I'm just going to see how this plays out.
So have you already got your WrestleMania tickets, or are you going no matter what? Or
yeah, I already got it.
Depending on the booking.
I already got it.
Got them.
Okay, well then ain't no damn Ubers coming to get you. You on the road.
Shit.
You on the plane, and they don't have any parachutes for you.
Listen, it's 2 days. Each day is gonna be like 4 hours. If it's not gonna be good, I ain't gonna want to go.
Have you heard about the rumor that there's gonna be an NXT event prior to the first day at noon?
We'll see.
Fuck out of here.
You can go watch Gunther.
Right. And they still rolling with that, but whatever.
But yeah, he changed his whole Twitter handle. It's Gunther now.
All right, but other than that, as usual, Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcast from. You can check us out, Saturday Night Slamcasters, like wherever you get your podcast from. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a thumbs up, support us wherever you can, leave us a review, leave us a comment. We will reply to you guys if it's worth our time, I should say. Go ahead and give out your social medias, guys.
You can catch me at Xavier Mustafa on Facebook and on Twitter.
You can catch me at The Natural Chris Black on Instagram and on Facebook, and at _natural_CB. And if you're a fan of New Japan, be sure to check out my YouTube channel where I cover all things New Japan.
And you catch me at Slamcaster TE over on Twitter. Be sure to check us out on Discord. We each have our own individual handles over there in the little areas you can interact with us. That's just Saturday Night Slamcasters over on Discord. In the process of still working on getting more things set up over there for you guys. And other than that, check out the Saturday Night Slamcaster Slam board over on Facebook. It's like a messenger board where we'll post reviews of shows live over there, and also support the official Saturday Night Slamcasters page over on Facebook as well. Other than that, we up out of here. Holla at your boys. Come get slammed. Peace.